Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. This is Real News Live. It's a free reading Friday. I'm your host, Mike Barrett in Seattle, Washington, and that lovely lady down there with the lustrous hair is Jennifer Doring in Hayden, Idaho. Jen, how are you this wonderful Friday morning?
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy it's Friday, and I'm looking forward to a great weekend.
Yes, you get your weekend off. I'm gonna have to do Saturday Night Live on Saturday, but that's okay, just because it's
But that's
gonna
fun.
keep me from watching the second half of the football game. That is gonna kind of suck. But I am here for you because you, my audience, matter to me more than anything. That's not true. Football matters more. But hey, hi Stephanie, hi Tamu, hi Buck, hi Sean, hi Slacker, hi Christian, hi Scott, hi David, hi Connie, hi everybody. How you doing? Okay, so. Jen, I don't have a lot prepared for today because it's been, kind of an interesting um, morning for me. I'm on steroids. I woke up at 3:30, rolled over, woke up as men over 50 do. I had to get up and take a pee and couldn't get back to sleep because the prednisone just has me all amped up. So I got up and I conquered Russia in World War II. I'm now getting set to invade England. And then about 6 o'clock, I thought, well, okay, I'll set up this thing and I'll go back to bed for an hour or two. Woke up and there's this whole cascade of information coming out of it. The most interesting thing to me was the Simon Parks update. I was wondering if you got a chance to watch the Simon update yet this
I
morning.
did. I didn't get to finish it, but I did. I saw some of it.
I'm with you too. I didn't get to finish it either, but I kind of wanted to go through the essence of it and then get to Gentel, and then I thought we would just take readings, for the better part of an hour and get out of here on a Friday and let everybody hit the road. Basically, what Simon said is what I've been saying. I don't know if you agree with me, but I've been saying, look, this shit has gone on too long. It shouldn't have ever happened in the first place. We should never have let these people in power. And he said that although he feels like the good guys are running things, he was prepared to come on today on the 20th or 21st and say, if these guys are still in power, then we're screwed because they're winning. And he kind of said, I don't really think that because of the change of direction of the Boris Johnson government. He said, it's a clown show out there that people have suffered and it's gone on long enough and you'd better act. And he got the sense from some things that were happening in the news, the reversals on the mask policies and these things, that there was some movement coming. I'm not sure about that. I know you are. And I wanted to say basically that, look, I agree with him 100% in what he said today. And I'm going to have it up on mikebarrett.blogspot.com after the show. I'll put his latest update up. I think everybody should watch it. He talked about the flashes of lights inside the White House, possibly being demolition charges to weaken the structure, just in case Russia or somebody lobbed a cruise missile at the White House. It would more easily collapse. He did connect that to 9/11, but I don't. You know me, give me a break on the 9/11 stuff. If you fly jetliners into buildings, they're going to collapse. Um, so, he said that they're getting ready to possibly have some sort of show war going on out there, which is kind of what you said yesterday on philosophy. So I'm just going to turn the floor over to you. I'm going to finish my cereal while you're doing that, and you just keep talking, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Let's get the Gentel going today, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I don't really have a lot of Gentel today. I've had a very busy couple days and did not get anything new. But when I was listening to Simon talk, and you know how I came out with the narrative where I saw guys with guns running around and stuff, and then I told you, I don't know, I could have made that up. What do I know? But this is what God said, okay? When I did the meditation for my philosophy show, and if you did not see the philosophy show, it is on YouTube under Jennifer Doring. Um, God said the White House is being reconstructed to be a museum of sorts. First, a command post, then decommissioned to be a tourist attraction. Now, what if it is indeed true what Simon is saying? If they are, I find it a little hard to believe that they would be doing that much preparation for demolition and people are still going in and out of the place. I mean, it really, it would be very dangerous to go back in there, but what do I know? If that is indeed true and it wasn't some guy running around with a gun, they could blow it up, rebuild it as a tourist attraction. That would make, well, of course, think about this. So the other thing we heard recently that I got was that this week we were expecting some kind of explosion off the East Coast, and then we saw this smaller explosion that was some kind of gas explosion, supposedly, and thought, well, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But I told you I saw it out in the water. Like, I was seeing the water, okay, off the East Coast.
Right.
And so, if it's true that they're doing that, the scenario could be, and what did God tell us on Philosophy Show about Putin? Putin was instructed to make it appear that he is starting a war.
Right.
And then Biden would be removed for a critical mistake. I heard that happens next week. This was on, what was it, Thursday? Yesterday I did the show. We are doing all of this to usher in the financial reset. They are doing all this to usher in the financial reset. Because that is most important. It dictates how people of each country should be treated and respected. So the narrative now is to look at Trump and his followers as terrorists, any patriot as terrorists that does not agree with the current regime, and that we're all trying to take over the country. Now, I do believe the White Hats are in control, but what they might set up, so it looks like we're going to go to war with Putin. All of a sudden, there's some kind of submarine off the coast, and oh my God, something blew up the White House. Did anybody see it? No, I didn't see anything come by. Oh, well, look, the White House is freaking demolished. Yeah. Oh my God, we're going to war with Putin. And then all hell breaks loose. Maybe they try to say Biden was in there and he's dead now. Oh, sorry, everybody's dead. And then we got hell in the streets, and they go around and clean it up. Oh, because we're at war. And then they come around and they do the EBS and they say, we found out that Biden and his people, the deep state, blew up the White House. And it wasn't Putin. And, and we're not at war with Russia. And this is all the deep state. And we're going to tell you what happened. That could be it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do know that that's what God said. And if you take a look at that scenario of them preparing it to collapse, I mean, what kind of looked like to me is, you ever seen anybody do welding? You got this spark. I mean, they could either be reinforcing it or they could be doing demolition. He said the White House is being reconstructed to be a museum at sorts. So if you're going to reconstruct something, you have to destruct, it has to be destructed first, right? So that's interesting. We'll have to see how that one plays out. Like I said, I don't know how everything's going to play out. I just know we're in for quite a bumpy ride.
Well, the thing is, it's interesting about all this is that it's all consistent with what you're saying in your Gentel. It's what you said yesterday, which I talked about on the show yesterday. I don't know if you watched. I think you were in the chat yesterday, so you probably watched the show.
Off and on. I saw you yesterday.
And talking about, the way you treat people, and that's what the Bible is for, and that's the new world we're going to live in. I was just comparing, what you said about how in the new world we're going to treat each other differently. And that's what the Bible's been trying to do for 2,000 years. But, you know, we showed the video of the guy who did interior demolition. And he says that those are demolition charges going off. One, just the way they're supposed to. I think we've pretty much thrown out the reflection thing. I disagree with you vehemently about the puffy plasma looking stuff being water droplets on the camera. I don't think there's any evidence of water
between
in the
two
air.
lenses at a time when the temperature is dropping could be freezing in between those two lenses and create that effect. You know, I spent a lot of years looking at orbs and paranormal photos and people sending me things for a very long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times it's just dust, and a lot of times it's a reflection, and a lot of times it's a camera lens, and a lot of times it's not water droplets don't always look round. And if you take a look at that video, off to the top left-hand corner, the lights of the city are expanding, starring out. And it makes me think that it's coming from very close to the camera. It's not something that's coming from far away. It's right there. And so that would be the lens, and it would be some kind of something going on with the lens.
No, I understand your reasoning. I just kind of disagree with you for several different reasons I elucidated yesterday. One of us is right, one of us is wrong. I don't think in the end it's going to matter, because this is all setting up. The way the rhetoric is setting up is for some sort of conflict over the Ukraine, possibly next week. Even Simon said there's things coming. I mean, he said there's some stuff coming that we're not quite aware of yet. And them claiming some sort of strike on the White House by the Russians, which would be an insanely stupid thing for somebody as smart as Putin to do. It's not a lens flare, and it's not humidity. It would be extremely stupid for him to do. And I think people are not going to believe it. And they would then blow up the White House or damage the White House. And then Biden, if he was still alive, would try to do something stupid. And that's when they would have the justification to remove him. Because they would say, well, guess what? We have intel that it was actually an inside job by the CIA that blew up the White House, not the Russians, not Mr. Putin. So we're not going to war, and this clown is out. So
Anyway.
it all sets up for your scenario, which you said was 27th to the 29th, right? Which is about 6 days away. So
I got that
week,
for EBS. So let's say,
EBS.
You know, logically, they listen to the Patriot movement. If everybody's talking about, okay, everything, you know, it's 1 year on the 20th or the 21st or whatever, and everybody's expecting boom, 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 and something doesn't happen, to come out and say, well, if nothing happens today, then everything's not okay. Of course it's not going to happen that day. Does anybody know Trump at all? I mean, it's not going to happen when they expect it to happen. They're probably going to happen. Stuff's going to start happening, and then they're going to hit them when they're not expecting it, and then hell's going to break loose, and then we'll go into like the EBS to let everybody know what's going on.
So, you know, yeah, he did say he did remodeling. He also said that he's been doing it for 29 years, and that when you want to take a building down, that you prepare it by blowing up the structural walls. That's what you do, and that, you know, that's what it appeared to be.
Okay, well,
so
that may be true.
Yeah, there's people arguing with me over here in the chat, but that's fine. It's actually not fine because I'm on roid rage, because I literally just took more prednisone. So just do not piss me off right now, because it's surging through my brain, my body right now. Everybody in the chat, do not piss me off. So it looks like we're set up for a series of events. The other thing you said that I thought was really important in this is that 27th is EBS, 27th, 28th, 29th is EBS. But you reminded people, and I think somebody else mentioned this yesterday too, but it might have been you, that look, the EBS is not going to be the event. The events are going to happen before the EBS. The EBS is going to be a response to those events.
Well, logically, yeah, that's what I got. And logically, you'd think about it. Why would we all of a sudden have the EBS if you haven't seen anything? There has to be something to justify it.
Yep.
You know, like, oh my God, everything went black. What do we do? Boop, boop, there's the EBS. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Incoming roid rage, that's right. By the way, Suzanne Ash, thank you very much. You are a wonderful person, and I appreciate you very much, and I appreciate the love. So, you know, I think that I think we've reached a point where everybody, if a sweet, mild-mannered, very tempered guy like Simon Parks can get pissed off to the point where he's basically yelling at the people that have been feeding him information for years, that you guys need to get off your ass right now and start doing something in public, in people's faces. If he's doing that, then I think we've reached a boiling point. I really do. Because he did talk about how, look, if you don't do something, we're going to. Because we've had just about enough of this shit. So, any other thoughts on that before we move on, or are we good there?
I think we're good. I think we'll just wait and see on that one.
She's thinking.
What do you think about the guillotine? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Guillotine.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying distracted my attention. I don't know anything about that.
13,000 guillotines.
That's a lot. Are we gonna do everybody at once? That's a lot.
I hope so. So, other than that, there's not a lot in the news today. There aren't any more people backing off of, their various lockdowns and things. It's really just happened in Britain so far. So, again, I want to ask you about Boris Johnson. Is he doing this to save his own skin politically? Or is he doing this because somebody higher than him told him it's time to pull the plug on this crap?
It's political. The heat was on him. They actually need him to stand in a position as we move forward and do what he's told. And so they said, you're screwing up. Go out there and do this. So it's both. And he's doing it to become the hero. Oh, all of a sudden he's a hero. Look at that.
They told him to do this.
Yeah.
There was a rumor floating around that he will be gone next week. That there will be some bigger scandal and he will be forced out. Is that true? Do you get that that's true or no?
No, he's playing ball.
Okay. Let me ask you again, Gentel time. Let me ask you again one last time. What about the financial reset? Next week? Week after? Any sense on that at all?
Well, it's just already pretty much done, but it all happens at once.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Okay. So one other thing I didn't get to ask you about yesterday that I want to talk about today is that there was a Supreme Court ruling basically saying that this pretty much illegal and unconstitutional January 6th committee can supposedly force Donald Trump to give up a bunch of his presidential records of communications and things involving January 6th. Now, as the president or the former president, I think he can still just tell him to go chase a rolling donut, and not the words I would like to use. But they don't, because the Supreme Court doesn't have the ultimate authority in this. No branch of government has ultimate authority. They all share power. So what you have is a power grab by the Congress, backed up now by the Supreme Court, but the president still doesn't have to comply with it if he doesn't want to. And then it becomes a question.
I think he wants to. I think he wants to because what he wants is to be able to get their records. So like okay, so if you want to take this, okay, take it, and now I'm going to get yours. So
right, exactly.
I think that if the thing is squashed, I really don't think they get it because of that.
Right, and that's what I was going to say is that what I think this really does is, first of all, you can get Trump's records all you want. You're not going to find anything. Secondly, it allows them to use the same decision, as a legal basis to get all of Obama's records and find out who he's been.
Well, what I'm getting is they can't really get anything legitimate done right now in the Congress. So they're busying themselves with all this crap, and it's another surface level distraction.
Okay.
What else are they going to talk about?
Kind of what I thought. Okay. All right. So one other thing that I thought was interesting yesterday was that Mr. Poole, who may or may not be Phil Godlowski. By the way, can we ask God if Mr. Poole is Phil? Can we just ask that?
No.
Jesus, or he's not Mr. Poole.
No, we respect the privacies of individuals, and if it's not, as long as they're not hurting anybody, and if somebody's concealed their identity in that way, I'm not going to reveal who it is.
Okay, all right. Mr. Poole posted this yesterday, and some people say, "Oh, well, that looks like a cryptocurrency wallet," which it might very well be. But me, being a little bit suspicious, I put it into the Gematria calculator. Let's see. Oh, we're still doing the window. Stop sharing.
Wouldn't that be illegal to put somebody's? Isn't that almost like your bank account number? Wouldn't it be illegal to put that on
it's
there?
not. It wouldn't really be very, very cool. But it does look like a crypto wallet. But I put it into Gematria and did the calculation. And of course, Phil says use the simple, so that's what we go down to. And I didn't see much. Cardano is a cryptocurrency. That came up. Bible God. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But here's one that caught my eye right away. La Palma, which is the volcano island that was so active there for a while, and now it's quiet. And I begin to wonder, is this going to be your East Coast explosion? Is La Palma going to go off or be set off? Is that what this is supposed to be telling us? And that's going to create something of a tidal wave, which could do some damage on the East Coast and that kind of thing. Maybe not a lot, but what do you think about that scenario? Do you think that La Palma reference is important or not?
It's not La Palma.
It's not La Palma. Okay.
That's too destructive.
Yeah.
They don't want anything too destructive. See, the deep state really doesn't have the money and the power to do something like that right now. On that scale. So basically the narrative, I think, is mostly being run by the White Hats. They want something that's clean, that they can easily protect people from. And if you were to blow up an island and have this giant tidal wave, that's a mess. That's going to kill a lot of people. It's going to hurt a lot of people. It's not going to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish here. And, that I was just thinking about the whole, the Russian submarine off the coast shoots a missile towards the White House.
Yeah.
How would that ever get to the White House with our military? Don't we have capabilities to shoot missiles down?
We do, but here's the thing. We do have some, but if it depends. If it was a ballistic missile fired a couple thousand yards off the East Coast, it would get there in about 15 or 20 seconds, which is probably too fast to respond even with automated systems, unless we have some missile defense stuff that I don't know about.
How would that submarine even be allowed to get that close in our waters?
Oh, they can get that close. There's a lot of stealth techniques. I advise you to watch the movie The Hunt for Red October. There's stealth submarines now that have that capability. Yeah, it's definitely something that could be a problem. And submarines are difficult to find in any event, even conventional submarines. You basically use sonar to listen for their corkscrews, and there's the caterpillar drive idea is not outside the realm of possibility. And there's always been a big concern that some asswipes like the Iranians were going to build a sub, sneak off the East Coast, fire a missile out of their sub up over the continental United States, and the electromagnetic pulse from the detonation, although the detonation would be small, the EMP would knock out all of our electronics and basically put the United States back into the 1800s. So those are legitimate concerns, and submarines can sneak around, and we do have pretty good defenses. But then again, Jen, who's in charge of those defenses? The good guys or Miley? If it's Miley, he's going to let that sub go in because he's bought. So I don't know. It's definitely possible.
I'm just wondering, I thought the military would, have capabilities to stop something like that from happening. And if they didn't, and supposedly Biden's in charge of them, would that constitute him trying to start a world war?
Yeah.
And being removed from office. So many scenarios going around. We'll have to see how that plays out.
Right. Yeah.
Really, at this point, they're making decisions on what they want to do.
Right.
There's always options.
Right. Interesting stuff. Okay, 280 of you guys in the live stream today. We are back on Mike Bara 3 today. So after this show is over, I will, but of course, half the people that were on Mike Bara 333 yesterday went to Mike Bara 3 instead. So we've got the same number of people in the stream, but maybe this will help us grow our stream. This show will be taken down off of those YouTube channels as soon as I am sure that it's up on Rumble and it's going to be there as a locked video. It will be taken down within 5 or 10 minutes after this show is over. And you will have to go to another place, mikebara.blogspot.com, to find it there. Or you can go directly to Rumble. Here is Free Reading Friday with Jen and Mike at 10 a.m. Pacific. It's there on mikebara.blogspot.com. Again, I'm going to warn you guys, if the blogspot should be taken down, be aware I will reappear somewhere else. The place to follow me will be on Telegram. Mike Bara on Telegram. Please go over there and join and follow me, and also follow Jen on Telegram. And then go directly to Rumble, open up a Rumble account, and sign up to subscribe to the Real News Live channel on Rumble. Everybody will love that stuff. Then don't forget, please, to patronize our wonderful sponsors, the UngovernedT-shirtCompany.com, where you can get all kinds of cool patriotic gear like baseball caps and Tweedledum shirts and stickers and beanies and Child Lives Matter, and UngovernedTees.com mugs, and Fake News Creates Fear shirts, and Ungoverned T-shirt socks and patches, and the Obama Trader shirt, and my personal favorites, the long sleeve and crew neck sweatshirts in either black or beige that say either MAGA or Obamagate. The UngovernedT-shirtCompany.com, UngovernedTees.com, true patriot gear for true patriots. Jen, why don't you tell us what's going on over at Jennifer Falah Doring, or JenniferFalah.com right now?
Well, we have a lot going on over there. Right now, for limited time offer, we're doing the weight loss healings. That is several services in one, several healings in one. Basically, we get rid of any negative energy that you have in your body, any bad guys. We take a look and do healings on anything that could be contributing to weight gain or stopping you from losing weight, like thyroid, things like that. And it is a talk with the soul, which is like hypnosis, to help you help yourself stay on your weight loss plan. And it's also a fat burn and a metabolism boost. That's available now. I don't do them very often because it takes a long time to do them. You can pick that up now. And we also have gift cards available for anybody who is wanting to get a reading or a healing for somebody else. I don't know why the pictures aren't showing up, but there are gift cards there, I promise. And
let me reload.
There we go. Okay, and then down below that, we have the sign up for the class 3 in our psychic development classes, clairaudience. We already did clairvoyance there. Above that, you can get that one right now, and the one above it is the introductory course. That's important too. You can't start this series at any level, but these others are going to help you with well-rounded psychic development. It's basically, my angle is to teach you to remember how to function as a soul and do it with God. And so that is up now, and get your spot. It's for February 7th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it will be a live event for class 3. And you will receive a link to your PayPal email unless you provide directly to Mike a alternate email. Right. Also, we have the yearly forecast over on the Readings and Services page, still up. This is a limited time offer as well, because it's harder to do. It's a lot of mind power to look ahead. So we split your life up, finances, career, family, health, love, and everything, and what that looks like over the next 12 months. And that's available.
I got to do that. I got to book that
right
one.
now.
I got to book that one. So, because it's a new year. So, definitely.
So, and also, if you would like to join me on Telegram, I talk there often. We got all kinds of... The people over on my Telegram chat over there, if you comment, you get in the chat. Bunch of wonderful people. We're having a lot of fun over there all the time. So go to philosophy, FALLAWSOPHY on
Where are you?
Telegram.
There you are. Hang on. Philosophy on Telegram. There you are. Let's see a
Yes.
little picture of Jen and philosophy and all of this stuff. I don't remember what that one guy yelling was.
Oh, I do. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about it. And then your wonderful wedding ring that your husband had fixed for you. Or got.
Yes, I lost the stone. I lost a very big natural blue sapphire for my wedding ring, and I was so upset. And I don't really get into jewelry unless it has sentimental value, and that had a lot, and so I was upset. And then on Christmas, he told me that he took it down and he was having it redone and a new stone put in, and the new stone is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's even, the other one was very dark, but this one is just royal blue, natural stone, and it's beautiful. And so that happened yesterday. I was very happy about that. He is wonderful. Thank you, Brett Doring.
And also, you can go to Mike Barra on Telegram and follow me as well. You said you had something you wanted to say about this guy that you put video. I didn't get a chance to watch this video yesterday. This guy?
The only thing I have to say about that is to remind you guys that for a very long time, I got, and not that we have to wait for this to happen, but God told me, all right, in meditation and prayer, that the sequence of the lineup of states that would flip or decertify was Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan. And I was thinking about it last night, and I said, what if it was Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan, California? What's our total then?
Oh, I don't know. I could figure that out if you want.
I just had that thought, and I'm like, how freaking happy would you be then? And then I think if that happens, see, I always feel like the election, like the investigations into the election and everything, all this stuff happening, is for after the fact to say, oh, really? You think he took over? Well, here it is. He's not taking over the country. This is what really happened. And it's going to just start happening. And it just feel like everything's just going to snowball and start happening at once.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go 2020. Okay. So give me those states again, Jen, and then I will change things.
Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan, California. Georgia is in there somewhere, but I said a long time ago Georgia's a mess, and I really don't know when that'll happen.
Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona,
Michigan,
then
California.
Okay. And California. Okay. So if we did this up that way and didn't change some of the other states that we know Trump won, like Nevada and New Hampshire, probably, Washington, California, that would then become 343 electoral votes for Donald Trump and 194 for Joe Biden. So it would be a rout of epic proportions.
That is pretty damn close to what.
Yeah, and I
got to ask Dave, because Dave and I were talking about it a long time ago, and I forget things.
Yeah.
Basically, the only states that I saw that were still blue at one point was like Illinois.
Yep. Yeah.
And some way over on the tip up there.
I think Trump won Virginia and Georgia, obviously. I think he won Minnesota. I think he won Nevada. I think for sure he won that many states. And these states are probably
Oregon. I can't remember.
Probably pretty wobbly as well. Colorado and New Mexico are pretty wobbly for Biden. So yeah, I mean, I think something like that. It's more like at 402. So we shall see, Jen. We shall see. Okay.
And the only reason I was talking about that is because in that video, that guy was saying that sometime very soon, within a few days, Wisconsin's going to decertify.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing news. I guess I need to watch that video and finish watching Simon and everything else. Okay, let's go to the phones and talk to the audience. Oh, one last thing. If you'd like to send me some love, it's right there, paypal.me/Mike Barra or Venmo at Mike-Barra. Love is always appreciated. Helps us pay the bills. Once again, I remind myself I have to pay Blake Wally some money for paying the Restream bill, which is what we use to do all these wonderful broadcasts. So let's go to the chat, Jen, and see if anybody wants to talk about anything else besides geopolitics. But let me ask you one last question. If the White House goes away, is there going to be different capitals of different regions? Is there going to be a new capital? Any sense on when the new capital or where the new capital might be?
They're going to set one. So when you asked me that question, what I saw is something over, I think, in Texas. It looked like as a command post. And then I think they're just going to, so they'd say, oh my God, the White House, oh my God, this is unforgivable. And then they just, will rebuild it. And then when they rebuild it, they basically, it's just a museum. It's a tourist attraction to go and see. It's a replica.
What do you think about the White House in Philadelphia? New White House, Philadelphia? I don't know.
I have to ask. No.
Phil's doing a live Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. So I've got 4 Pacific, I've got Phil, I've got football, and then I've got a live stream to do at 7. So that's
yes, and everybody please pray for Phil. His grandmother passed away last night, and it's going to be probably very hard for him to do a live so soon. But I'm sure he's struggling because he feels like he needs to be there for us and get his information out, but he's also dealing with personal issues. So
it'll be really interesting to see if he does have anything that coincides with, your predictions for next week. And then what Simon is saying. Simon is saying he thinks things are going to start happening. So, yeah. Angie thinks that Trump should make a park of all of our past leaders, the ones BLM and Antifa tried to knock down. Yeah, let's get all those statues together and put them all on the White House lawn where they've got the wall around the fountain there. Let's take all those Robert E. Lee posters and put them there. So, yep, fake missile attack on the White House would create the scenario for Sleepy to react stupidly and ushering in the military. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Also, again, as I told you guys yesterday, part of Smessaert agreement is that parts of Ukraine and the Crimea, and some also, Simon said the Baltic states, I don't know if I quite buy that, are going to become part of Russia again. That's part of the Smessaert agreement. So I'm going to watch that with very intense interest here coming up. Kimberly Reck is here. Hi. Rosemary Limo says, my bank yesterday acknowledged that new money is coming. They have not been told when.
Shut up. Really? That's awesome.
And I got a smile, she says. I don't think the White House would do a false flag in the deep state. I kind of agree with that, but they're, we don't know. I mean, Putin's been told to make it look like he's starting a war. So, according to Phil, and I know you follow him, Putin is on the side of Trump. I don't know that Putin is on Trump's side. I know that Putin has the same perspective that Donald Trump has, which, by the way, I've reported for 5 or 6 years before anybody ever heard of Phil Godlowski, that they were both realized the real enemy was the banksters. They were the real enemy. And so, yeah.
Well, when I was talking to God in the last prayer meditation for my show, he said that Putin is part of the World Alliance, and that because when I talked to him about, I said, okay, what is this? I needed a term to refer to this whole thing. You know, like the Patriots and all this stuff. He said you should refer to it as the World Alliance. So he is basically on board with basically kind of an ally. He's an ally of the Patriots, okay? But Putin is for Putin. He is for Russia, just like Trump is for America.
Well, and that makes for
that's why they hate him so bad.
Right, and that actually makes for a very good relationship between Russia and America because you know each leader knows where the other one is coming from at all times, right? So, what happens to the media? Buck Fiden wants to know. All the liars and fearmongers. Well, hopefully the same thing can happen to them at Nuremberg after World War II. Love to see that one. Nancy Burks, thanks Mike and Jen for the real news. And thank you, Nancy, for being a very, very strong, supportive member of this team. So Deborah doesn't want me to yell at her today. Well, the roids haven't kicked in yet. I just took it like half an hour ago. It's not really in my bloodstream yet, but I'm going to be getting more and more pissed as the day goes on. There's no question about that. So Timothy Hamlin thinks we are awesome.
Thank you.
Guillotines. Yeah, Simon was pretty animated. For Simon, he was pretty animated. Erica was happy to see him tell off the white hat, saying the same shit that, I don't know, somebody else has been saying for the last year. None of this is necessary. Just rub people's faces in it and wake them up. Wake them up that way. Buck says his torch and pitchfork are ready. What can we do? Take our guns and riot in the streets like they do. That's what we could do. It's something that people are getting ready. Militias, trust me, are kind of reaching the end of this crap. Is the blocking that just happened in Texas for the federal lollipop employee mandate for all the U.S. or just Texas? Does anyone know? It is for just Texas, but it can be used as a precedent and a basis for other decisions to be adjudicated in other states. Yeah, where do you buy a guillotine? Guillotine Depot? Who builds them? Somebody has to build them. Victoria Adams got her Ivan yesterday. Yay, Brooks coming through again for people. Anyone else noticing fewer items at the grocery store? Yeah, like the shelves are completely empty.
No, because I'm stocked up for like 6 months over here for like a family of 5.
Yeah, I know. I'm going through my
six, you know.
I'm going through my pancake mix that I bought at Costco last year. So, what's up with crypto? Again, I think there's going to be this engineered drawdown of various different markets. So, to usher in the financial reset, but we don't know. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. That's just what we've assumed for a long time. Brian wants to thank us for everything we do.
Mm-hmm.
X22 said what I said, that SCOTUS decision on Trump's documents will open the door for others, which will make them want to very quickly close the door again. Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't his record show that he contacted Pelosi and asked her to bring in the National Guard and she didn't? Yep, it's exactly what they're going to show. So, no, Brandon, it wasn't any of those things. Sparklers, thermite sparklers did not bring down the Twin Towers. They did not collapse from the bottom up. They collapsed from the top down. Because when you fly a 400,000-pound airplane at 500 miles an hour into a building fully loaded with fuel, you're going to have an impact of about a ton of dynamite, and you're going to damage that building structurally, and you got tens of thousands of tons of steel and aluminum and concrete pushing down on that gaping wound that's severed 3/4 of your structural integrity. And after about an hour of intense fires, the whole thing's going to pancake exactly like we saw on TV. You don't need anything else. And it's like, guys, just come on. You really think you can fly a jetliner into a skyscraper and it's going to stay up at that speed? No. Yeah, Howard Stern's wishing for all the unvaxxed to die. Well, I notice the people that hate Trump and Trump supporters the most, my assumption is always that they're the ones with the most to hide. And I think when we get to the little black book of Ghislaine Maxwell, I guarantee you Howard Stern's name is going to be on there.
Oh, come on. Has anybody ever questioned that Howard Stern isn't a freaking bottom dweller? A creepy creature crawling through the swamp? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
God, I've never been able to stand that guy.
Who else would he be? I mean, Phil did allude to the fact that he's Mr. Poole. In fact, you know, Mr. Poole has this he has this graphic picture. Let's see if we can go over to Telegram again real quick. And I want to show you Mr. Poole's Telegram. And where is Mr. Poole? Am I missing him? Did I go past him? Let's go all the way to the top and then work our way down. There's just that annoying video. There it is, Mr. Poole. Mr. Poole has this graphic of this yellow square with these cross eyes and the smiley face and all this stuff. That's his graphic. And let me see if I can go to his profile. Yeah, that's it right there. This, okay, when Phil does his live streams, behind Phil on his shelf is a little frame with this picture in it. So, yeah, I think Phil's letting us know that he is Mr. Poole. I would tend to agree with that.
No, he always says, you guys don't know who Mr. Poole is yet? So,
yeah.
It may be, or it could be someone close to him.
I don't know why he would create a second fake identity. Why wouldn't he just say things that he was meaning to say as Phil Godlowski? So it might be somebody else, but I don't know.
Oh, he is under what is it called? An NDA?
NDA, non-disclosure agreement, but maybe
so
Mr.
you can't
Poole
say certain thing.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, and Mr. Poole doesn't come out and say something. You have to figure it out. So it's more cryptic stuff. But
Suzanne says I should have her back to counter my roid rage. Well, sure. Come up with an angle or a story you want to talk about. Bring information. And Tuesdays and Thursdays I have open, you know, to bring somebody on the show. We've done it before. Joe Rogan and Howard Stern should box. It would be great. That would be like the time Geraldo Rivera put on gloves and tried to box with Muhammad Ali. That was hilarious. At one point, you know, he was so Geraldo Rivera was so skinny. At one point, Ali stopped and said, "Do you know what you look like naked?" It's crazy how skinny you are. There are lots of foreign subs off our coast as we speak. Yep, agree. Meatloaf died today. Yeah, R.I.P. to Meatloaf. I never liked his singing much, but a lot of people did. I never bought his album, but a lot of people did. It was,
well, that's too bad. I don't know.
I hope he wasn't recently boosted, but he was 74, so these things happen.
I got from the president's notice he put out, his post, that I got from that the president was saying that Meatloaf was okay. Not like okay, not dead, but like wasn't a bad guy. I mean, that's what it immediately came to me. So
the president, you mean Trump? Trump said that, or
yes.
Did he put out a statement about Meatloaf? Oh, well, yeah, he is saying that. He's also tried to say Michael Jackson isn't a bad guy, and I don't know about that. I think Michael Jackson was a creep, but really, he's a good guy that sleeps in a bed with male children. Okay, sure. I would be fine being proven wrong on that one.
But all of those male children said nothing ever happened to them.
Yeah. Kathy, Stella, Jen, why does my cat Bugsy hiss at me every time I walk past him? He doesn't do that to my husband. My other cat loves me to pieces, and I've never mistreated him. Why does Bugsy not like cats?
He thinks you're going to step on him. So did you ever accidentally run into the cat or step on him?
I do all the time with Seabass because he's pitch black, and when it's dark in the house,
you're going to step on him.
Oh, well, how does she fix that? What could she do to
Just
try to
walk
fix
by
that?
him very slowly. Walk around, like, look, I'm being very careful around you. You know, something like that. I don't really know. Um, it's just like my dog Rosie. Like, she'd lay on the ground, and she's a black dog, and we used to have this dark brown rug in the bedroom, and my husband would get up to go to the bathroom, and sure enough, he's always stepping on Rosie, and I'm like, stop stepping on the dog. And I can walk around her and she's dead asleep on the floor. But I swear to God, if he makes any kind of move when she's laying on the floor, she's out of there. She just gets up all right away and leaves. And this was a long time ago, and she still does it.
Yeah. Sebastian, Dave's cat, is pitch black. He's a little house panther. And my night vision is not what it used to be, quite honestly. So if I get up in the middle of the night, sometimes to go, do what 50-year-old men do at night. And I've punted him so many times because he's standing in front of me and I don't see him. So now when I get up, I turn on I take my phone with me and turn on my flare. Ooh, that's a cool shot. And so I don't step on him because it's just something you have to be careful about because your kitties, they just have a habit of getting in front of your feet. I don't know why they do that. Miss Fluffy Muffy's always doing that too. She's like,
right,
oh,
I gotta get going.
Okay. Patriot Poodle says, Jen, we love you and your broadcast. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. That's going to wrap it up then, Jen. Thanks. Any final thoughts you want to leave anybody with for the weekend as we go into it? Do you think anything very interesting is going to happen this weekend, or is it going to be a quiet weekend before the storm next week? What do you think?
I do think there are some things happening this weekend. I do think you should listen to the intel. Coming from quite a few sources. But it is definitely an interesting week ahead.
Interesting week ahead. All right, guys, I will be back with the normal crew, I think, on Saturday Night Live on Saturday. I'm planning on doing that. I'll get emails out to everybody. Maybe we can even, what do you think? Maybe we can entice Casey to come on the show for a few minutes. You never know. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow night then on SNL. Unless everybody bags out on me, in which case I'll just watch football. But if they don't, I will be on with Brooks and Candace and everybody on Saturday. Jen, you have a great weekend, and we will talk to everybody else on Monday.